Yola, you already know, self-made, ATM,
So guys, this is King Greatness TV and I'm back with another video. This video is going to be very serious. It's going to be the story time about my sexual assault that happened in August 2018. I wanted to get this video posted in May in honor of Sexual Assault Awareness Month, which is throughout the whole month of May. So let's get it straight to the point. Some people may know, some people may not know. Some people may think I'm lying, but I'm not. It's something that I wouldn't lie about. So in August 2018, I was a freshman at Stockbridge High School. You know, I was in band, freshman in band, freshman at school. And the incident happened on August 31st, 2018. On that day, it was a Friday, and then I had a game the next day. So we didn't have practice that day. We didn't have a game that day. I had went home. The guy who did it, you know, I knew him in middle school. Me and him was cool in middle school. So he rode my bus, and some other people that didn't normally ride my bus, they rode my bus to my apartment complex. And the plan was we was just gonna chill until it got dark, and then we was just gonna go home. So got off the bus. That day, he said that he almost got in trouble for fighting. He was on probation at the time. So it was him, Myra, and some other people. They had rode the bus home with us. And got home. My mama wasn't in town. So I had went home, put my stuff down, and came back outside. So we went to Myra's house, and I think she was waiting on someone to come and get her. So she waiting on someone to come and get her. I was just at her house chilling, waiting on them. And when we went back to the activity area, and we was sitting around chilling, talking, and just, you know, relaxing. I don't want to keep the video going too long, but I don't want it too short either. So sitting down, chilling, talking, relaxing. And I had walked back home to my house. I think I had went home to get something or to change clothes. So just saying, I know me and him, and I'm not scared to admit it, about 2 weeks prior to the incident happening, me and him, we did have consensual sex. I didn't have practice that day. I had came home, and me, him, and Myra, we was chilling at the activity area. So the conversation arose, and boom, we did it. That's something I'm not afraid to say. I just want to put this out there. Just because you consent to sex one time with someone doesn't mean it's yes every other time. No means no. I don't care if you consented 1,000 times. The 1,001 time, you still need consent. Just because you did it one time don't mean it's an automatic yes for the next time. So yes, about 2 weeks prior to that, me and him had consensual sex. I admit to that. I mean, hey, it's done. It's like 2 years ago. So when this happened, the conversation arose, you know, the conversation arose about, I'm getting kind of nervous talking about it, but fuck it, hey, might as well just say it. I mean, what am I holding back for? Like, when people do these type of things to you, they want you to stay in silence. They want that power over you. So the conversation arose about me giving him oral sex. So we walking back to my house, and I told him, you know, that, you know, my cycle was on. We couldn't do nothing. And I wasn't gonna do nothing because my cycle was on. But oral sex, I mean, cool. So we went back to my house, and I remember that. And before I get into this, I just want to say, before I get into the actual, you know, build up of what happened, describing the whole thing, I just want to give a trigger warning to anyone who may have been raped, know someone who has been raped, been molested, trigger warning. You can skip past this part if you want to. I don't want to cause somebody to have flashbacks or trigger someone. So trigger warning, because I'm about to explain what happened. So I remember going up the stairs, and I was about to walk upstairs, and I was preparing to get him oral sex. So I did get him oral sex. That's what I consented to. We talked about it. Yes, I consented to giving him oral sex the first time. So as I had got done, I, gave him oral sex. And as I got done, to go upstairs, thinking that he was going to go out the door, he had grabbed my waist and he pulled my pants down. So at this point, I'm confused because I told you, my cycle's on. I don't want to do anything on my cycle. I did you oral sex. That's what I consented to. So, mind you, this dude is bisexual. I don't know why people saying he's gay. He's not gay. He's bisexual. I don't know if he, at the time, I don't know if he was open about being bisexual or not, but he is bisexual. So, last thing I know, this dude is taller than me. He's taller than me and strong. He's taller and stronger. He was stronger than me. So, he kept trying to, put it in my anus, and in which he did force it in, and I kept telling him, no, stop, wait, no, stop and wait. It even got to the point where I took my left hand and I tried to push his waist away, because his waist was like a brick wall. He would not move. It was like I pushing a brick wall. Like, I'm trying to push his waist away, and he took my hand and he flung it out the way. And at that point, I was like, this can't be happening to me. Like, I never thought this would happen to me. Like, if anybody know me, I'm loud. I have a loud mouth. Like, you heard me say no, stop, and wait. You saw me trying to get away from you, and yet you kept going. So I just started crying, and I started crying. I just felt like worthless, really. I just can't believe it. Like, wow, this happened to me. And I just want everybody to know that no means no. Like, period. No means no. It doesn't matter if you consented to oral sex. If that person wants to have penetrative sex, no means no. Like, you need consent for all sex acts. Like, I'm very strong on no means no. You can't talk somebody into it. If they don't willingly say yes, then it's a no. And I don't know how you just gonna act like you ain't feel me trying to push your waist away. I mean, from that point on, I have healed from it. I have, accepted it, and I've healed from it. But after something like that happens to you, you'll never be the same mentally. Like, you will never be the same. After it happened, I remember him making me perform, excuse me. I remember him making me perform oral sex on him, and he was like mad because he said, oh, you pooped on my penis. And he told me to grab a towel, so I got a towel off the floor, and I wiped it off, and he made me perform oral sex on him, so he ejaculated. So at that point, he left. I went upstairs, I used the restroom, washed myself off, and I changed shorts. After that, I just came back down, and I went back to the area because I didn't want people to think I just ghosted on them. I went back to the chill area where Myra and her friends were, and I was just sitting down with them playing music, and I was numb. It was like, what the fuck? Like, what happened? Like, what the hell just happened? So I'm just sitting there numb, like I'm in a daze. I was in a daze. Didn't know what happened. I'm trying to process what just happened less than 10 minutes ago. Like, so from that point on, it had been bothering me. And I knew he caused some sort of damage because the same day I tried to have a bowel movement and it hurted so bad. Like, to have a bowel movement, like, he wasn't small. He was not small. Imagine something about 8 or 9 inches and thick forcing itself into you. That's gonna hurt very badly. That is going to hurt. So after that, like, I just went on like nothing happened. Brushed my teeth. Also, I went to my aunt's house later on. So I got tired of hanging out with them. So I went to my aunt's house. You know, my aunt and them had came up here, my great aunt, and I was just with them because I had a game tomorrow. My mom was out of town. I had a game tomorrow at Tri-Cities. It was away. So from that point on, like, it starts to bother me after that. I put my friends, my close friends that were out of state, I put them in a group chat on Instagram. I told them what happened. I told them it was really bothering me. I told them that I really need to tell someone, but I didn't know how. So there was a strong support system. That was like, either you gonna tell them or I'm gonna come to that school and tell them. And I was like, no, I need you to come to the school. They're gonna get me in trouble. These people gonna think I'm a threat to the school because y'all done came up here advocate for me. Like, I ain't want them to come go crazy over me because they love me so much. So I was like, bruh. It was like, what's your mom phone on? I'm finna tell them. I'm like, no, don't do that. It was like, you gonna tell them or I'm coming to that school. When I was like, they gonna call the school. I'm like, nah, bro, don't do that. So on September 5th, 2018, it was around 3 o'clock. I was like, I can't hold this shit in no more. I gotta tell somebody. My friends in the group chat on Instagram, you know, I told them that I was going to the counselor's office and I was going to tell them what happened. It was on September 5th. So the incident happened on August 31st. So like a week later, I was able, like 4 to 5 days later, I was strong enough to tell and speak out. And again, to anyone who's watching this, who may have went through the same thing, or if you haven't spoken out yet, never be scared to speak out. It's never too late to speak out, and it's never too early to speak out. Find a support system, tell someone, because something needs to be done about it. When rapists and people do this to you, they want you to keep silence. They want to scare you into keeping silent because they feel like no one's going to believe you. Plenty of people believe me. Even though the small percentage of people thought I was lying, a lot of people believe me and a lot of people was on my side. Even if no one believes you, if you know you're telling the truth, that's all that matters. So back to the story. On September 5th, I didn't feel comfortable verbally telling it to my counselor. So I wrote it down on the paper and I was like, keep it anonymous. Not knowing that when situations these serious, they can't keep you anonymous. Like, when it comes to school, they have to like bring in the school resource officers. They got to bring in DFATs, caseworkers. Like, they have to really get all the facts that's coming in. So I told them what was happening. And so I told them what happened. And then they took it to the principal. And then the school resource officer got involved. Mind you, this was like around 2:30, between 2:30 and 2:50. And I had practice that day too. So like, I didn't get to practice around 4:30. And like, they had about 2 female officers in, police officers in. We went to the conference room. We talked about it. You know, I told him everything I knew, gave the description of him, told him his first and last name, everything I knew, I told him. And like, I didn't feel too comfortable telling it in front of my mama, because my mama, she yelled at me like, this is the time where I need you the most and you gonna yell at me? Like, at this point, I feel like the person who was supposed to support me the most, I felt like she was on the other folks' side. Like, she was questioning me. She was saying that, like, I mean, one thing they did say before they left out the room was, you know, don't talk about it so much because the story may get changed. You shouldn't talk about it so much. And my mama made it her business every day after practice. Every day or every other day, she made it her business. Every time I got in the car, she brought it up, tried to get all this information out of me, trying to lecture me. Like, bruh, I done got so used to talking about it, bruh. So, on September 6th, I had an appointment at Georgia Tech, Carolina. It was early in the morning. It wasn't early, but it was early in the morning. I got dressed, went to the doctor. And I remember, like, that whole week, I didn't smile. If anybody know me, you know I smile, I laugh a lot, I joke and play. But that whole week, I didn't smile. Like, I just had a plain face. I didn't feel anything. Like, I felt nothing. I just felt blank. Like a blank piece of paper. That's what I felt. So, they came in there, you know, due to serious situation like these, if you're a minor, they ask if you want your mama or your parent in there with you. Y'all already know what I said. She gotta go. Like, they asked me if I'm comfortable, like, can she step out? Like, that's how it's always been. So, they did some questionnaires, examined, you know, my private area and the area where it happened at. They took some samples, blood samples and everything else to make sure, you know, I didn't have an STD or was, you know, pregnant, or they tried to get any DNA samples, which was long gone because I took showers, brushing my teeth, everything. So any DNA they could have got is gone. So from that point, this was September. I had got examined and everything. So I went back to school. Ooh, speaking of going back to school, I was at that hospital all day. I didn't smile. Until they had these funny doctors come in. They was like clowns. They made me laugh. And I'm like, bruh, this is the first time I laughed or smiled all week. These people came in, they brightened up my day. When I tell y'all, that was like the lowest point of my life, bruh. I don't want to go back to that. Because I feel like I wasn't going to make it, bruh. No cap. Shit. Like, I felt like nobody was in my corner. I felt like I was the worst person in the world. Like, sometimes I ask myself, how could you let this happen to you? Like, how? Why me? Sometimes I just question, why me, bro? Like, what I do? But, and then, of course, you still got to face the backlash that comes with it and stuff like that. I didn't think it was going to be a serious backlash, but you had, like, a few months later, in October, like, I posted about it on my story on October 2nd. I got all the facts on me right here. This girl, she went to Starbridge. I'm not saying her name out of to protect her privacy. She slid up on my story. She said that there were multiple rape cases at Starbridge and the school didn't do nothing. And she told me that a guy who raped her, his name was Waddy Palmer, and he was on the football team. So she told me that him and his best friends had raped her and her best friends. So later on that year, I had a gym class with him and I would ask him about it. I noticed how upset he got. So in my head, I'm like, yeah, that's somebody I don't want to be associated with. Because if you know you didn't do it, why you get so mad? Like, if you know you didn't rape nobody, why you get so mad? So that's somebody that I definitely didn't want to be friends with. I didn't want to associate myself with. Like, you did this to somebody and you just going on like life cool, like you ain't bothered by it. So, and another thing that really made me go through depression with that, as I was healing, I felt the need to try to prove to people. Like, now, I don't prove to nobody because I know what happened. Like, I don't have to prove to you whether it happened or whether it didn't happen. So, it was this page. All I know is one day, I was in the car. I was headed to Fort Valley. and this page called the SHST page. I took a screenshot and I wrote everything word for word on this paper. So somebody took a picture of me off my story, and I was like, so some of you guys said to me about this girl. To be honest, I don't think anyone raped her, especially the dude that she claims raped her likes dudes. So in my honest opinion, I don't think he touched her, because to be honest now, who would touch her? So to whoever was behind that page, I just want to say you are a coward. You are a waste of sperm, and honestly, you probably the worst person walking this earth. Because why would you think that because someone is not attractive to you, or because someone is plus size, that they can't get raped, or because you feel like no one would touch them? No means no regardless. And it doesn't matter what you thought he liked. He must have liked feminine identifying people, or he must have liked guys and girls, or even if he only liked dudes. No means no. Like, that's all it is to it. You don't have to believe me, but I'm not gonna sit up here and prove myself over and over and over again, because the forensic reports know what's up. Like, if I wanted to, I can go dig up some files, but I'm not gonna do that, because I really don't owe y'all no explanation just to prove that I'm telling the truth. So if you want to think I'm lying, you can, because it's probably somebody who's really close to him that's behind that page. But I just want to say, God bless you, and I hope you heal, because you have some serious demons going on with you. Now, and also, I remember I would get a little bit more comfortable and start trusting people, and this is part of the reason why I don't trust nobody at Stockbridge. I don't, because it was one girl. She was a senior. Well, she was a senior. I'm pretty sure some of y'all may know who I'm talking about, but I trusted her enough to tell her on Snap, and next thing I know, not even a couple hours later, some of his friends, some of the people who knew him, they were coming up to my face in the hallway laughing, talking about something, oh, he raped you? Like, I'm not gonna say his name on the video. They were like, oh, D raped you, and they was laughing and stuff. They were like, oh, I heard he raped you. Like, that was so disrespectful for you to go and gossip about something like that. Like, that's nothing you should gossip about. Like, oh, so-and-so got raped. Like, who in their right mind will want to gossip about that? Like, that's nothing to tell people about. That's nothing to tell people about in a spiteful way. Now, if you would say, oh, I heard so-and-so got raped by this person, you may want to watch out for that person. Okay, then that's different, because you're looking out to make sure no one else falls victim to that person. So, she know who she is. She switched schools at the end of the 2019 school year. She was in a lot of drama, and I noticed how everybody who was her friend at one point, they fell out with her, and they always ended up wanting to fight her. So obviously she the problem. That's my story on how it happened. Of course, I've had flashbacks, nightmares, everything else, but of course, you know, I moved past it, and I moved past it. I grew up, matured. I stopped blaming it on myself, because, like, it's never the victim's fault, regardless. No means no, period. And to all my plus size people out there, you are valid. Your story is valid. Don't let nobody think, oh, because you're plus size, that you can't get raped, or you should be grateful that anyone will want to talk to you. Don't feel like that. So this is my story. I hope this inspires anyone to come forward and tell me their story. Mine, if anyone feels comfortable telling me their story, you can always DM me on Instagram, DM me on Snap. Everything stays private. I'll never do you like the people who I trusted did me. You can guarantee that. So this is the end of the video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It's someone who out there that may need to hear this or see this. So really, that's it. And I'm surprised I didn't cry. Like, I thought I was gonna cry during the video, but that's how you know I've grown and I'm stronger. I didn't cry. So thank you all for watching. If you watched to this end, thank you all for watching. And hey, be great. That's all I got to say. Bye.